Recently, I went on a business trip to Vancouver, and if you didn't know, I'm actually originally from the Vancouver area. And what I decided to do for this trip is I decided to try to do everything as much new as possible. So I tried, when I was flying, I tried using what's called an e-boarding pass. And basically the way that it works is when you check into your flight, rather than actually having to go to the airport and printing your boarding pass, you just get emailed this fancy little QR code. And then when you go to the airport, you just show your phone with the QR code and they scan that. One thing to note is that if your screen is kind of dim, then their scanners might not pick it up. So the best thing to do is to increase your brightness every time they need to scan the QR code. But other than that, it always worked, and it was a sweet experience with the QR code. I just thought it was really cool being able to use the e-boarding pass. When I landed in Vancouver, I had to get to my hotel, which was basically smack downtown Vancouver. And yes, I could have taken a cab, but it would have cost a bunch of money, and it was way cheaper to take transit. So the way that the Vancouver transit system works, which is amazing, is that you can take the C-Bus, you can take the SkyTrain, or you can even take a regular bus. And all of them are digital. What you end up doing is you get one of these fancy RFID cards. And the way that it works is that you go to whatever form of transit you're going to take and you tap your card and it just deducts the total. So once you get the card, you actually have to load up a dollar value, or you can buy a day pass, or you can buy a monthly pass. So I loaded up like $20, I tapped my card, and then I was able to get into the SkyTrain platform. Then I got onto the SkyTrain, I tapped my card on the other SkyTrain platform to get out when I got to my destination, and just like that, it deducted the amount of money that it cost. And it's just, that transit system is amazing. And what's really great with their buses is that if you're going somewhere, rather than just trying to use your GPS on your phone to go, oh, I need to get off at such and such stop, but not really knowing where exactly that stop is if you've never been to the city, the transit buses have like this LED sign that tells you what stop it is and if someone's pushed the stop button or not. And I just think that is amazing, especially for someone who isn't 100% familiar with the transit system. One of the places I decided to go to for food was called EXP Bar and Restaurant. And I heard about this bar a long time ago. I don't even remember how exactly. All that I know is that I've known about it and that I've always wanted to go. So finally I was able to go to it. EXP is entirely video game themed because you walk in and there's like Mario Kart 64 and an N64 off to the side. There are just video game stuff everywhere. The menu items as well as the drink items are video game themed, and it's so cool. They even were having like Rocket League tournaments on some of the days, and it was so cool. It was really great environment. It was really, really cool. And the food wasn't bad either. While I was there, I also decided to check out this ramen place that my friend told me about. It is called Hokkaido Ramen Santuka. I probably have horribly butchered that, but regardless, I went to that ramen place and it was really good. And what was crazy was I took a photo of the outside of the ramen place because I was basically live tweeting my entire time in Vancouver. So as I was sitting down and had already ordered, and I was posting the picture on Twitter of the outside of the store, then all of a sudden my ramen is there, and I'm just like, what? You guys are like ninja fast. It was amazing, and the ramen was really good. And then I also decided that I had to go check out a sushi place because you can't do Vancouver without eating seafood, let alone sushi. So of course I had to go find a sushi place. So I went off and I went and found a sushi place. It was called Miku Restaurant, and holy smokes, that sushi was the best sushi I have ever had. It just melted in your mouth and was amazing. Also, it had a really nice view of like the ocean, and it was so cool and also so expensive, but it was amazing, amazing, amazing sushi. It was amazing. I don't think I've said amazing enough to describe just how good it is. oh, nothing can compare. Also, have I mentioned that downtown Vancouver is just amazing? Because you walk off in one direction and there's restaurants and bars and stores that you can buy things in, and it's just amazing. It doesn't matter which direction you head, even if it's north, south, east, or west. There's always stuff that you can purchase or eat at, and it's just great. There's just so much multiculturalism everywhere, and it is so cool. Unlike Calgary, yes, downtown Calgary has a few places, like 17th Ave has a whole bunch of bars and restaurants, but it is nothing compared to downtown Vancouver. Downtown Vancouver is just stores that are useful to everybody. It's like a giant shopping downtown kind of thing, whereas Calgary is just business places that are just business offices and stuff like that, where you don't really go to buy things. And just downtown Calgary seems like a barren, deserted wasteland compared to downtown Vancouver. Downtown Vancouver was amazing. Also, when I was walking from the ramen place back to my hotel, I had walked past the best chocolate place in the world. It is called Daniel's Chocolate, and I actually had forgotten that Daniel's Chocolate is based in Vancouver. So this was an actual Daniel's Chocolate store. And the way that store works is, yes, you can buy the boring assorted boxes, which you can actually buy in Edmonton, but you can't buy them in Calgary for some reason. But regardless, rather than just buying the assorted boxes, you actually get to select which chocolates you would want in your box. So the box is entirely customized, and it's just so amazing and so awesome. And of course I'm gonna love it because it's got my name in it. Like, I love everything with my name in it. Does that make me self-centered? I don't know. My friend was telling me about this other bar that is called Stormcrow, which they actually have 2 locations. And Stormcrow is kind of similar to EXP because it is kind of a video game bar, but not at all. Basically, it is a geek and nerd culture bar. So in this one that I went to, there was like a Millennium Falcon on the ceiling. There was a Han Solo that was frozen. The bathrooms had like TARDIS decals on them, and just everything was just geek and nerd culture themed, and it was really cool. Also, what was really cool is that they had this 20-sided die that you could roll, and you could determine what shot you would get because each number has a different shot. And so we rolled a couple of shots, and some of them are really good and some of them are apparently not very good. Like, apparently the critical miss one is really bad. But regardless, the ones that we rolled were really good. Also, you could roll a 20-sided die to determine what kind of burger you would get. I was too afraid to do that, so I just ordered a salmon burger, and holy smokes, the salmon burger was delicious. And everything was reasonably priced there. All in all, my trip to Vancouver was amazing. I hope that I get to take another trip to Vancouver because I can't get enough of Vancouver. And I didn't mention, I had like the greatest view of downtown Vancouver from my hotel. Like, it was so nice. I was on the 15th floor and I just looked out and I was like, oh, this city is so beautiful. I never want to leave. But then I had to leave and come back home. Oh well. And yeah, that sums up my trip to Vancouver. In the comments below, let me know. Have you ever been to Vancouver? What did you think of it? What is a cool place that you've been to? And yeah, that sums up this video. Thank you for watching. I will see you next week. Don't forget to have an epically awesome day. Bye!